All right, man. Well, it feels like we were just here.
Yeah.
And you're back. How excited are you at another one at home?
I'm excited. The first one didn't go as planned. What sucked about that fight is when you're done and you're like, man, I didn't even get to fight. And Corey went out there and did an amazing job. But it's like that feeling of I didn't get to prove myself. I didn't get anything in, And so back at heavyweight, I've been wanting to fight at heavyweight for a while. They just happen to keep pulling me down to light heavyweight. So I'm excited to be at my full potential and capacity, feeling my body right throughout training camp, feeling good going into this fight. And here in Arizona, I get a little redemption.
I know maybe when you're the light heavyweight champion, you don't want to come on and say this, but do you feel like those cuts towards the end were getting kind of a little bit too much for you?
Yeah, I'm a wrestler, right? I've been doing this since I was in high school, and wrestling since I was 7 years old, but kind of late in high school and in college, obviously, every weekend, and I in my back of my head, it's like, yeah, it's fine, even though I started to creep up higher and higher in weight between camps, and coming down from 235, and it's fight week, I'd be like, man, it's just part of it, whatever. But I think they did started to take a toll, especially getting older, and just being able to take any damage, shots I used to take I could take a heavyweight or whatnot, or in training, body's just depleted and it doesn't want to do that anymore. So I kind of shut down that chapter for a while, maybe forever. Heavyweight now.
I know for a while we were always asking you about moving back up, moving down, and whatnot, but I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you've said that this is going to be your final move, right? So
yeah, I think I'm going to be a heavyweight for the rest of my career. I just don't see, any benefit of going back down. There's a belt that I was, obviously defending down there, and want to step up to my obligations in that division, but I don't have that belt anymore, and there's contenders in front of me, and so what's the point? I have this heavyweight belt. I'm looking to defend it again and again. So heavyweight is where I'm going to be for a while, and I just don't see anything that would really bring me down unless it was something super special.
Do you think you made that decision based off of that jump up to heavyweight for that Grand Prix? Maybe your body got used to being a heavyweight. If you never made that jump, you'd still be a light heavyweight? You
know what? I was always contemplating throughout my career what I'd do as a heavyweight. I've had my coach Aaron Simpson was like, man, you should try heavyweight, and I was like, man, I just don't know how I'd feel, and what if guys are, big strong guy comes along, and I went and did that, Grand Prix, and I fought a big guy, and Matt Mitrione, and Fedor, and Czech Congo, and I felt really, really good. Felt fast, felt just as strong as anybody out there, better endurance, and so at that point I was like, okay, I really don't even want to go back to light heavyweight, but I will honor my obligations and be a 2-division champion and go down. And after I lost that to Nemkov, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm going back up to heavyweight. Mm-hmm. Happy back to be a heavyweight, and they came, I'm a team player. They came, hey, would you like to, come to this Grand Prix again? And so, obviously went and fought Machida and lost to Corey. And so after that fight, I'm like, all right, for real, I'm a heavyweight now. And so it's been a while since I fought a heavyweight. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm having a great week so far. Feeling good and going into this fight at my full potential.
You've obviously fought a few Russians over the last few years, all from the same team. How's Moldavsky compared to your past opponents?
You know what? He's a little similar. I think he's a little, crossbreed between Fedor and Nemkov. I think Nemkov definitely has a more active and dynamic striking, more kicks, all that kind of stuff. And Moldavsky, I see he's good at everything. I don't think he's great at one particular thing.
Well, according to him, he's a little better striker than you, and he's been wrestling his whole life as well.
Yeah, I've been wrestling high level, and I feel like I'm faster than him. He has good striking. He's good at going straight forward, straight back. So I want to mix it up. I want to see how he can fight, one of these hybrid heavyweights like myself, going in there and mixing up the takedowns and the striking. Where a lot of these guys, besides maybe Linton Vassell, haven't really challenged him like that.
What do you make of Scott Coker saying that Fedor's already kind of eyeballing you as his last fight if you do beat Moldavsky on Saturday?
I'm flattered the Russians like me or something. They're after me. But it's one of those things where, yeah, I get it. I end up knocking him out in 35 seconds, and I can see how he wouldn't want to go out like that and want to rematch, I'm open to it, but I haven't really thought about it too much. I want to focus on this fight, and then go out there and win this fight, and then, see what the win side of that would look like for me, because right now looking at that, it's like a lose-lose situation. I can't beat him any better than I did. It is a big fight. If any Fedor fight's a big fight, especially his, last retirement fight. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Well, the last few, I would say 2 years, we've interviewed a lot of people fighting Russians, Dagestan and everything. The thing they always say is they get a lot of hate on social media from Russia.
Yeah.
A lot of people in their DMs and stuff. I mean, Michael Chandler said that he got hate and he wasn't even fighting Islam Makhachev. He just got into him. So how's it's the same with you? A lot of hate from the Russians?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even pay attention. There'll be comments in Russian, and I'm like, I assume that's bad. It's actually a few times I translated it. I'm like, oh, that guy's actually pretty nice, whatever. But after I beat Fedor, man, there was like DMs of like, not just like, hey, you fuck you stuff. There's like, I'm gonna kill you and your family. I'm gonna find out where you live. Like 20, 30 of those messages, But it is what it is. Passionate fans, and I talk shit back, just hoping that they actually don't know where I live.
Sure.
Yeah.
And finally, what do you make of this whole situation with the UFC heavyweight champion? France is kind of going to war with the UFC. We haven't really seen someone of his name push back like this.
Yeah, I think, for the fighters, I think it's good. I always think it's good when a guy can stand up for himself and different fighters and pay and all that kind of stuff, and you've kind of seen it a little bit. You've seen guys, like us that have been like, all right, I'm going to fight my contract out and see what I can get elsewhere, and he's kind of doing that same thing. And on top of that, he has, one of the biggest names in boxing even calling him out, and so I think that's the biggest thing for me is where, hey, I can go over here and make 4 times as much I'd ever make in my lifetime, in the UFC or mixed martial arts in one fight. Why wouldn't I try to maximize that, would do whatever I can do to either get out of this contract or get paid what I feel like I could be getting paid over here. And that is a realistic situation for him.
Are you going to the ASU dual meet on Sunday?
No, I got a bunch of family and stuff in town here, so I'm going to hang out with them before they leave on Sunday. Yeah, I usually do try to make it, but 2 p.m. the next day after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just having all that family in town and your family coming to the fight, does it make it a little more stressful just to get to fight night?
No, they always, I've been at the hotel since yesterday, and most of my family usually does come, my wife and my parents, my sister, and they made it to more fights than they haven't, and so for me, even with like friends, and they know not to mess with me on the tickets or anything like that, so it's just another fight. It's nice to be there and win, when you have a bunch of family and friends there,
right.
But it's pretty much the same.
We spoke with Sullivan earlier. He named you the best fighter out of ASU ever. So what do you make of that?
I think he forgot about Kane.
He's like, Kane was pretty good, but Bader's
He told me when he walked out, I'm like, you dumb son of a bitch. Man, I feel like Kane is one of the, healthy Kane is one of the best fighters ever to, grace a cage at all, or ever. Just kind of had it all.
What do you make of Sullivan's fight, fighting Big Ben Parrish?
I didn't know who he was fighting for a while, and he's like, oh, they call him Big Tuna. I'm like, oh fuck, you're fighting Big Tuna. I just seen him on just social media and stuff, and obviously had a great last fight and all that. But I think it's good for Sully because he has a pretty decent following. I call him Big Tuna. I don't know his real name, but Ben Parrish. And so it'll be a great win for Sully. I mean, Sully's tough, and I think he's going to do big things in this division. He's light years ahead of where we were when we were his age, just from the training and stuff like that. So big things from him.